All right, guys, we are live. I appreciate this guest, Kelly, for coming on because a lot of people love to talk in the comments, but they won't, they want to come have a discussion. And I will say my hair is fresh out the shower. So, hey, I'm sorry you can't see my eyes, but I'm so thankful for having her on. Real quick, you could give a little background on, who you are, what you do, etc.
Sure. So I am a actor writer in the LA immersive scene,
Wow,
which is sort
nice.
of a weird, yeah, it's a weird, quirky little world, and I have been doing that in virtual reality for the last year and a
Oh,
half.
sweet. Cool.
Yeah, it's been very lucky considering the pandemic, and
True.
that's why that job continued actually. But
Perfect.
so in terms of TikTok, I my page was born out of both chronic scenarios I was finding with men, and it was also these conversations I kept having with guy friends,
Okay.
where it was like because I'm a very much like, I don't know if you know like Myers Briggs personality types, but
I
I'm the
don't.
counselor.
Okay.
Okay, well that's like kind of how I fall into, and I like having deep conversations with people about uh, different relationships sort of
Absolutely. Me
things,
too.
and so my page, yeah, it's really interesting, and my page became both combining helping men navigate dating in a world where gender roles are being questioned and gender equality is very much
Really?
like
You
part of
do
all
that?
the.
Dude, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I
Hmm.
listen. I'm sorry, guys. Real quick, guys. I'm gonna fill you in. I made a video, and at the end, I asked, "Hey, look, would anyone like to speak to me on my podcast?" Some girl tagged Kelly, but I thought Kelly was just a girl who doesn't make content. I never really went to your page. So tell me. So
Oh
so
yeah, and I
I
do speak on feminism too.
okay. So you do feminism, and you also do
Mhm.
you help men too.
My page is actually mostly geared towards men.
Really? Dude, oh my
Yeah.
God. I feel like I'm missing out. Damn. I thought you're just like just a
Sorry.
random on TikTok. Not a basically I thought you're a non-content creator. That's why I thought you were a
Gotcha.
non-content creator who just your girl tagged you because she thought you were knowledgeable. So I'm sorry. That's non-prepping on my end. If I wish I would have stalked your page if you're a content creator and like made notes and like,
Oh shoot.
okay. I'm sorry about that, Kelly.
I
Totally
thought
thought
that that was why you brought me on, honestly.
no,
I was just
shoot,
like,
no. I legit thought you were just somebody who didn't agree with me, and that's totally okay. And I want to have a nice discussion about where I'm coming from, where you're coming from, and hopefully we can come to a middle. I didn't think you actually made content and studied this stuff too. I did not know. So real quick, tell the people about the content that you have made that's gone viral, caught some traction.
well, as you found out, the more controversial, the more viral it seems to go,
Yes.
which I do not do intentionally. That's
Okay.
not my every video I upload. My goal is, does this help? And sometimes it's scary to do because you're gonna rattle. Like if I say patriarchy, if I say toxic masculinity, like you're gonna hear from some people.
Absolutely.
But it's not so much. I don't think of the patriarchy as something that's like, you, Chad, you are the patriarchy, you are bad. I think
Yep.
we all grew up in it. We all were born like, and obviously this stems to all social justice issues. Like we grew up in these things. And so I look at it more as, it's such an awkward time because we're going from what is ingrained in us, like what are we taught we have to be,
Hmm.
and what do we actually want? So,
Got you.
but in
Okay.
terms of viral videos,
Yeah. So what videos
one
did some
actually.
well? Yeah, did well.
So the funny thing is, because you haven't looked at my, or you didn't know about my
Haven't.
page,
Didn't know
is
you did content. Yeah.
I I did duet your video, and whenever the super viral like
Yeah. Yeah.
um the feminists to my page, welcome, about to school you bitches, like I duetted that one, and when I do that with anyone that makes content that's red pill ish, I try to just exist next to the video that's happening, and kind of in the same way like you and I having this conversation is like, it humanizes you, the person who went viral, and who went viral like saying this stuff. So they're like, you're just full of hate. So I just existed next to that, like had a couple like reactions in the, but what I did after that is I did a video flipping the script on your content,
Oh, okay.
and
What was
that
that?
one
I'm
went fairly
curious.
viral.
Really?
Um, yeah, I mean, also it's it just is statistically you don't grow as fast if you're not uh, pushing more buttons. So I'm not a huge page. I have like I'm getting close to 18,000
Hey,
followers.
congrats. It's better than
Um,
zero. So congrats. Keep doing your thing.
it is better than zero.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to remember what exactly I said in it, but basically, how did it start?
I can reiterate the whole
I
video if you want.
Yeah, can you tell me the beginning
Yeah, so
of yours?
I made 2 points in that video. Actually, three. First point, a lot of women don't like the content because it's exposing truths that they want to keep on the hush hush. Like, for example, I'll see videos of women making the same content I make when the guy that's too nice texts me, bleh, the guy who hasn't responded all day texts me, yay, right? So it's like when I make that type of content, I'm hated
Very
for it.
true.
When they do it, it's like, girl, hush, girl, shut up. Like, it's like, keep it down. Like, don't tell them that you don't want them. So that's what I kind of get the feel from. So I said that's why I said in the
Right.
first part is like they don't like that I'm exposing these truths and I'm bringing them to the forefront to the light, and that's why I feel like they don't like me. Number two was there are women, and this is the biggest one. This is the one that I have the biggest problem with, and I'll stay on this to the day I die. I said there are women who will go on multiple. Now, the word multiple means more than one. So, like, so two and three and four. So, more than two, right? Multiple
Hmm.
dinner dates with a guy. They do not like him. They just want the free food and they don't want to sleep with him. So, my thing is, women, if you don't like the guy, you just want a free steak, that's manipulative. But this is what they did was a straw man tactic, which was they take my argument and they argue something else. Oh, so you're saying because you swiped your card, I have to suck your dick? No, I just saying there are people, women out there who are actively taking advantage of men who know they like them. They don't like them back. They just want free food. And the second the check comes, okay, take me home. Right? No, I've no one, nothing else to do with you. That happens. But no one was arguing that point. They were arguing, oh, you think we owe you something? No, I said two and three, so multiple, so more than two and three. Like to me, it takes one date to know if I'm gonna see a girl again. So I just don't like it how there are women out there who are doing that. And I'm trying to tell man, yo, look, bro, if this is a second and third date and you can't even get a kiss out of her, you should probably just leave her alone and go to the next girl who actually wants you and who wants you like that. And the third point was the friend zone. But I feel like the biggest point was point number two, and that ruffled the most feathers. But you can probably now go ahead and speak on that first or second point.
I will. I will speak on both of them.
Please, let's do it.
Uh, so the first thing, the thing that I think is rough, and when it comes to the joke stuff of like nice guy, but the toxic dude, like that whole business. The thing that's rough with all of that is that it is not about niceness. Like we demonize kindness in men
Yeah,
because
they
it's
do.
it's
Yeah.
considered, but it because it's considered feminine and lesser.
Yes. Okay.
And so we demonize that in men. And so we go, it's because you're nice that she doesn't like you.
That's what I've heard a
But
lot.
and
Yeah.
but it's about self-respect. Like, and
True.
you say this to your followers where you're just like, and like what you just said now, it's like, yeah, if you've gone on multiple dates and she doesn't seem interested in you, like you either have to ask
Yeah. Or
or decide for yourself that you don't want this, it's moving too slow for you, or you think she doesn't want what you want and you need to just call it.
true. I agree.
But it's rough because then it's all about the you're being too nice, you're being too this. But I think it's when you're being nice from a place of lacking self-respect.
Can you go a bit
You
deeper
know what
on
I'm
that,
saying?
or like, because I'll make sure you get your points
Sure.
out.
Yeah. So have you seen the like what's viral on TikTok with men chopping wood in dresses?
Oh my. You know what? I haven't, but I can see why. It's like masculine cutting the wood, but feminine wearing the dress. I can see like that I can see it being viral. Like I can, but go on.
It's yeah, it was going on for a while. I haven't seen it in a little bit. I'm
Okay.
always down for those videos though. But what is so attractive about that is that we're seeing a man being like, yes, I am a man. Yes, I am into women. Me putting on this dress doesn't devalue that. And I'm going to be part of us unlearning that toxic standard for everyone. That's toxic standard that I can't, like, if I put this on, then I'm worthy of shame. And it's like that man has that much self-confidence. Yes, like I'm all about him. And we have all sorts of, like, we have kind of the combination on the feminist side of things where male feminists will get cyberbullied, attacked for aligning with women because, and because some people are like, well, you're just trying to get into their pants by doing this.
Okay.
And they're trying to play on, and maybe there are some that are doing that. There probably are, but then the attempt is to shame the niceness in them so they don't speak up for women. And unfortunately, when men speak for women's rights, it sounds more objective to people because it doesn't sound like he's just out for himself.
Got you. So I have a question. Me and my friend were just talking about that previously about the whole dress thing. Where would you draw the line on masculinity where it's like, hey, okay, guys, relax. You're going too far, right? Is it because that's where I'm nervous about masculinity? And be honest with you, it's like when do you think there's a line in the sand where women, even women, will go, hey, yo, whoa, chill out, like this has gone too far, right? Or is there not a line where it's gone too far, where men are becoming a bit more feminine?
Like in terms of and
Yes.
becoming more feminine.
Yeah. Do you think there's a line where,
I
hey
think
guys, you can
it's
wear dresses and stuff, but don't do this. Like don't go over here. You can do this, but don't go over here. What do you think?
Sure. Well, I think for one thing, with gender being such a spectrum,
Hmm.
you like, because we have, if I'm a bi woman, I'm a straight woman, but if I'm a
Okay.
bi woman, like maybe I have like there's certain things that are just like straight up feel like feminine, like
Yes.
divine feminine energy, and
Yes.
maybe then I like that in a man. Personally, I self-awareness is huge for me
True.
with guys. Like that is it's such a obvious sign of confidence, of self-respect. And so I feel like what happens a lot of times is masculinity becomes this like thing that has to be protected, but in a fragile way. Like
Okay.
if I insinuate something about you, then it's like, no, I'm a man. And so I think it's not so much about can men get too feminine, like can straight men get too
Hmm.
feminine for straight women.
Yes.
I think it's just more seeing us not be so obsessed with what it is to like with presenting, because if you are in a long-term relationship,
Okay.
who you are in the beginning when you're being
Yeah, it's different.
as like usually is you're going to be more masculine, and then as time, like we all know that you guys make baby voices in long-term relationships and do things like we all, it's the fact that it's almost like you guys being full humans is a secret, but you are. And so I want to see more of it being less about, because everything is, and this is the thing for me with your viral video that was like, this is what worries me, is because so much of patriarchal standards and like super gender norm standards are A equals B. And that's what worries me about your content is when you're like, if she does this, it means this. And the thing with the free dinner stuff is, sure, I have no doubt, I don't know any women that do this, but I have no doubt that there are women out there that are like, free food, which honestly, that sounds like my personal hell to go on a date with a guy that I am not interested in for free. Like that would stress me out to no end. But if what's happening when guys see that is that there's a number of them that if that date doesn't lead to something, doesn't lead to sex, doesn't lead to her being like, it makes him think that if it doesn't lead to something, then she was messing with him from the beginning. What if she changed her mind partway through the date? What if she found something out about him that worries her? It's creating this A equals B, and that's when we're put in positions where it's scary.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'll speak on that. So yes, I feel like, what you just said, it can be true. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I thought I did my best context to say, listen, if when when I say the word multiple, I don't really expect any woman, especially a high value woman, to do that with me the first night. I don't expect that to happen. If, on the second date and third date and fourth, and she still doesn't want to do that, I feel like because my mindset is this. Honestly, this is where the red pill in me kicks in. She's sleeping with somebody. It's just not you. There's somebody she's romantic with. She's not, full blown celibate unless she's still talked about that. But I feel like there's someone who's romantic with her. It's just not you. You just gotta accept that. So when because me personally, I have a 3 date rule. If I can't even get a kiss from you, then I'm gonna have to go my separate way after the third date. You know what I'm saying? But I know in the video it didn't really come off that way, and that's why I have these conversations with people because I can only say so much in 60 seconds. But I see your point. I can see how that could be seen that way, but I don't freaking like make a woman like. There's no verbal or physical showing of like I'm upset. I drop her off. Hey, have a good night. I'll talk to you later. It's like there's no like what you're not gonna do this. F you. Like like it's none of that. It's none of that at all. So I don't that was never really my intention to do, but I just feel like if it's a third and fourth date and she still doesn't see you romantically, you should probably remove yourself if that's what you're looking for. If that's what you're looking for. But did you want to continue on this topic or go to the friend zone topic or another topic?
I guess, yeah, we can finish this one out a little bit
Yeah, go
with
ahead. Yeah, please.
the like.
Go on.
I agree with you in terms of, yeah, if you've got like, personally, I can't imagine going on, I feel like, yeah, 2, 3 dates. The
That
idea
yeah,
of,
one's enough to know if I can see you again. That's just for me. But go on.
oh yeah, in terms of seeing, oof, I'm intuitive as all get out. So
Okay.
unfortunately, I know, like,
Before?
usually it's a rare circumstance that I learn differently at the second date.
Got you.
If
Exactly. Me too. Same way.
but the thing is that, oh, what was the last thing that you were speaking on?
About the dinner part or the friend zone part?
Oh, the dinner part with the like the actually it's kind of both,
Okay.
because with you saying after this many dates, it's like cut it off, it's not what I want. Yeah, but I feel that the friend zone is almost a similar thing,
Yeah, go on. I'm
because
confused. Keep going.
when it comes to, so I've certainly experienced guys who were friends of mine
Okay.
that then expressed romantic interest and
Yeah.
felt
Yeah,
like
that's what happens, man. It's
you,
unfortunate.
and not always. And I have friends who were still like, that was almost kind of a nice thing in our friendship where
Yeah.
we got past it and now we're much easier and better friends because there was that lingering, it's like, this is here,
Yeah.
I don't. But the thing with the friend zone that kills me is that, like, if you and I are friends,
Okay.
and if I'm like, I think Chad has feelings, am I supposed to friend dump you?
I feel like that's a great point. I'm gonna speak on that. So let's just say I'm gonna do a different scenario, but it comes back to this. When I'm intimate with a woman and it's just friends of benefits, when I feel like she is like, okay, I think she's trying to take us to the next level, I'll say, listen, I feel you. First, we're 50-50. Now I feel you kind of pushing more for that relationship. You're holding my hand more in public. You're texting me more. It's not what it used to be. I feel like we should dump this before things get too messy because now I'm using you. Before it was we both want sex, cool. Now it's you want more and I don't want to give it to you. So now I'm using you. So back to the friendship thing.
But do you talk about it before?
No problem. Yeah, no
Like
problem. So
do you
basically,
just like you call it?
So I'll let them know, hey, look, this is what I'm feeling. Cause I did it just to two girls in my life. I remember their names and everything. Like I felt it like they wanted more. So I said, hey, I feel like this is kind of going more towards you wanting more. Is that what you want? Yes. Hey, look, I'm gonna have to remove myself because I'm not trying to use you because you want more and I don't. So now I'm using you. When it was 50-50, we're both using each other. But now you want me for something more I'm willing to give. So back to the whole friendship thing. If I'm friends with a girl, which I have one platonic friend who's a girl I've known her since I was in elementary school. But if I were to have a girl and we're friends and I feel like she's trying to come on to me a little strong, I have to call it out. Hey, look, this is how I'm feeling. So either, you kind of, you either it sounds bad to say, but either you kind of suppress how you feel, or we need to like, stop hanging out as much and be a bit more distant because I feel like you're pushing for something more. So I basically bring them an ultimatum, A or B. Either we can stay friends, we have to watch these behaviors, or B, if you can't, we gotta go. So that's how I would handle that.
The thing that I find with that, because I've done that too, where
Yeah.
there's been
Okay.
times where it's like I'm noticing it too much. I just need to be like, hey, is this what's happening? But what
Sure.
happens to us a lot is that if a guy's ego is hit with that,
Oh yeah. Oh
then
yeah.
he'll just be like, it's almost like a where do you get off? Like where do you get off having this conversation with me? Where like what do you? Because I don't know personally, because I've had crushes on friends before,
Mhm.
and it seems wrong to be like, you can't be my friend because you have feelings. Like it should be their thing to choose when they, if I am okay with the fact that they're experiencing this and I can handle that I'm getting these feelings from them. Granted, it's never easy, like, because you have to kind of be on a different level of like, okay, like how can I make sure that I'm not insinuating something? And you, like my flags definitely go up, but it just seems wrong that the impetus it's on the girl to bring up your feelings and make you talk about them, because I don't know if today's the day you're ready to talk about it. I don't know if it's a bad time. I don't know if you're just like having a fleeting thing and it feels like the friendship ends
All right. So I'll
like
speak on that.
and
Yeah, I'll speak on that. So I had this conversation with somebody else with the friend zone thing. You can argue each point, right? As the man, yo, do you want her romantically? Yes. Why are you her friend? Well, I'm hoping for one day she sees me as that. No, she won't. You should leave. Then there's a girl side. Girl, you know he wants you, right? Yeah. But why do you text him all the time and hang out with him all the time? You know that's killing him inside, right? Shit, that's not my problem. So it's like you can argue both sides. Like, girl, you know he likes you. You shouldn't like see him so much and hang out with so much because you know one day he's gonna have that talk where he's like, hey, I just when I'm with you, that's coming. So I think you can argue the girl, hey, you feel this feeling. You should tell him that's not that way and that makes you uncomfortable. Or the boy, hey, bro, look, you want this girl? Yes. Are you friend zone? Yes. Well, you need to remove yourself if you want something more, or at least tell her. So I feel like each side there can be an argument. I tell guys all the time on my TikTok lives, there's two ways to get out of the friend zone. Either A, you tell her, hey, this is how I feel. If you don't want that, that's totally okay. But I'm have to do what's best for me. Or B, you just remove yourself entirely. And when she texts you, because she will text you, you go, hey, look, I'm actually focusing all my attention on women who see me romantically. If that's what you want from me, we can do that. But if you don't, I have to go my separate way. Right. So I feel like that's
well,
a much
of course she's going to text you because she thinks you're still friends.
exactly right. So she's gonna think, oh, where my best friend guy go? I text him all day. I FaceTime all the time. Where did he go? When you tell her, look, I'm focusing more on women who see me romantically, that may put her in a bind. Okay, either I see him romantically or I have to leave him alone. Because that's basically what that text I told her to send that text. Like, hey, this is how I feel about you. And if you want to do that, that's fine. But I'm gonna focus my time more on women who see me as a partner and not a homeboy.
But I feel like there are also guys that are willing to stay friends even if you don't end up dating. And that's
Yes.
sort of
And
the odd, like, it's not just the, and it's kind of weird to be like, I'm focusing, because it's just like, so our girl, like, when it's like, I'm focusing on women who can, it's
sorry.
like,
Whoa.
You can,
Let me decline. Sorry. Go on.
the idea of like I'm focusing on women who see me romantically
Yes.
is that, but that's like that's like a pretty sexist standard for women, where it's because you're not saying that to your guy friends. Like, I can't hang out with you. I'm focusing on people that see me romantically.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's an odd.
Let's speak on that. So it's like for me, I don't want to be friends with gorgeous women unless we're doing business because I know I'm a man and I'm gonna feel sexual towards women I'm attracted to physically. So I don't. So me personally, I don't like being friends with women I find sexually attractive because it just eventually one of us is gonna cross that line, and she may make me feel uncomfortable by coming for me sexually, or I may make her feel uncomfortable by me coming for her sexually. So I feel like the dynamic of two people attracted to each other being friends is not the best idea. So I don't think, okay, so you're saying it's sexist to tell a girl, hey, I want to only focus on women right now that see me as a partner, not a friend. You think that's a sexist statement? Just make sure I understand.
I do, because that's also a, so depending on how attractive I present as a, like how physically attractive I present as a person, changes if I can have friends that are men or not. And that's a pretty
Well,
lonely thought.
you know what? I just feel like, listen, like, I feel like everyone can have a preference. And and I, here's the thing, I ain't look at the word sexist because I feel like that word, sexist and misogynist, come up often on my page. And like, I know what misogynist means. I've read so many articles on misogyny. Like, I've read so many. But here, what's sexist? Okay, sexist. Characterizing by
It's
showing
that it can go
prejudice.
either way.
Say again, I'm sorry.
Basically, it's the same as misogyny, but like I could be sexist against you for being a man.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's you could just, yeah.
So
Is that what Google
stereotyping,
says?
discrimination, typically against women on the basis of sex, old-fashioned sexist attitudes. It's just, you see, I'm so interested in this conversation. I never heard that before. I never heard someone say it's sexist to not want female. Okay, I'll make it even more broad. It's sexist not to want female friends. Is that what the statement is mostly?
I think that it should be case by case. Like if a
Okay.
girl is too attractive for you to be like, sure. But if you have a broad thing for yourself of I can't be friends with women, it's just like you haven't met all women. Like,
Oh no, so
are you
I am
sure
friends
you
with
can't be
women.
friends with her?
I am friends with women, but the one friend I do have, it's because we've been friends for like elementary school. But for me, it's like if we're doing business, we're friends. Like we can talk, we make money together. Like there's a really, really gorgeous woman I know named Sherry, Persian, my type. But we're friends, and I keep it friends because she gives me leads on my business and she helps me grow my company. So she's off limits. We're friends, but because we do business together. But if we didn't do business together, I go, hey, look, girl, like us being friends is probably the best case because I'm very sexually attracted to you. That offer you on a date, or I probably I want to date you because you're my type. But let me just refrain from that because I don't make you feel uncomfortable. Because basically, okay, let me say this statement and see if you agree or disagree. You want men to not basically turn their horny off with women they're super attracted to so they can be friends with them. Is that what you're kind of going for? No. So
No. If you're too if you'll be, if you know you're going to be very attracted to her,
yes,
and you don't want to deal with starting as, and you don't like the idea of starting as friends, you just want to date her,
yes.
yeah, then you have that right, absolutely.
True. Yes,
But it's the idea
isn't
of
that right sexist though?
the part that's sexist is I don't date attractive women,
No, no, no.
because
Wait,
you might meet an attract
wait. No, no. You said I don't
well,
date attractive women.
or
Is that
sorry,
what?
I don't, I'm
Yeah,
not, my bad.
yeah. Okay.
I'm not friends with, or I can't be friends with attractive women.
Because I know myself. I know I may turn that relationship. So basically, it's like me saying this. I know I'm not good at keeping a straight platonic friendship with a woman I'm very attracted to. I know I suck at that. So instead of me trying to work on it, I'm just gonna leave those alone. Isn't but like there's
I think it's just that
go
I
ahead.
think
What?
it's just the difference between I can't be friends with someone I'm attracted to versus I can't be friends with attractive women. Do you see the difference in those two
Say it
things?
one more time. Say it one more time. I'm trying to make sure I get this. Say it one more time.
It's the difference between I
Hmm.
can't be friends with someone I'm attracted to, which
Okay.
is, you're right, absolutely,
Hmm.
versus I can't be friends with attractive women.
Okay. So it
Because that means
went from people
we're an
to women.
unfriendable.
Because first you
It's
said
just that
people.
like,
Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
so attractive women is an entire is a group, and that's a, you're speaking to like people you have not met, women that you don't know at
Hmm.
all,
Hmm.
being like, can't be friends with any of them. But when you're saying I can't be friends with someone I'm attracted to, that is, you've experienced attraction towards them, and and you know that you don't want to start as friends.
So
Does that make sense?
saying so. Okay. So okay. I can because the word people, that's men and women, right? Because that's not very that's it's too broad, right?
It, and it's not really the, I, it's same thing as I can't be friends with a woman I'm attracted to. But attractive women are people you haven't met yet versus a woman that you are attracted to. Because that's like how attractive do I have to be in the attractive women group that you cannot be friends with? Like what's the
Okay.
barometer for
If
the
you want,
group that you know you could never be friends with?
yeah, if you want to get that technical, yes, you could bring up like how attractive is attractive, how which so yeah, if you break it down like that, I guess you could say that, but it's just for me, I know I've tried it before, and again I had that talk, hey, I really like you, and things didn't go my way, so you know what? Let me just avoid because like I've been there, I've been that guy waiting in the shadows, hoping to get my chance, my day, and when I got impatient and I told her how I felt, she's like, oh, I just see as a friend. Like, I don't see anything more than that. I mean, you know what? Let me just avoid being in the shadows and being that guy and just be straight up with women. Tell them exactly what you want. They don't want it. That's fine. But don't be her friend. Don't lead with friendship to get in the door and then wait in the shadows and attack. No, you tell them, hey, I like you. I like to date. Like let's go, let's grab a drink. So I didn't lead with that. I led with, hey, let's be friends. Let's hang. Let's have. Let's like I led with the friendship because I feel like women don't mind male friends. They don't at all. So if I lead with the friendship, I can get in a little bit easier.
Love them.
Yeah, women love male friends. They love.
And I think what,
Go on.
sorry, good.
No, no, I want to hear what you got to say.
I think I think that what everything you're saying, there's like, yes, absolutely to that. Absolutely to not becoming friends as a way to get to, like, you should become friends if you are down to be friends. People
Yes.
are allowed to become attracted to each other, and then, or you're allowed to be attracted and want to be friends, but be, if the thing is, I don't want to be friends, but I'm going to be your friend, then absolutely don't do that. And so I think that makes total sense.
Okay.
But it's, so the thing that I was talking about earlier is not so much like I say, like 100%. If, yeah, don't date someone you're attracted to if you just, or don't be friends with someone you're
Yeah.
attracted to if you just want to date them, for sure. But it's the idea of having the group, the group thing, attractive women. I'm not friends with attractive women because that's like, that's discriminating against a group in a, do you see like how it fits different than someone you're attracted to?
But the issue only okay, so I know I could be always missing the point, and I'm sorry about that. But it's like, for example, I know if I'm attracted to a woman, I'm gonna want to go on a date with that woman. So it's like
Hmm.
I want to take her out, be good to her, have some drinks, go have some good. I know that's what I want with a woman I'm attracted to. What I don't want is her talking to me about other men she's dating and her boy problems. And she invites me over to have dinner with her family. Oh, just this is just a friend. Like, no, I want you. So it's like I just know it makes I've been there before in my simp days where I led again my back with like I would led with the friendship to go through the back door to get to the dating, but I realized,
Hmm.
yo, don't do that. You be straight up, and if she doesn't want you, you because almost like me trying to pass get I don't want to get rejected. So let me go through the friend way. It's almost like there's two ways. Straight up could get rejected, or friendship, you're guaranteed a spot in and you can kind of skip the possible rejection. Because I wasn't the most handsome guy either. So I had to kind of, whatever, that's another topic. But I see what you're saying, but still at the same time, I still wouldn't go out today and go befriend a girl I'm super attracted to. Like I still wouldn't want to do that. I'd still
Right.
want to go on a date with her. So it's like, I
But
don't
I
know.
think it's about recognizing that attraction is subjective. Like
It
even
is. It
if,
is. Yeah. Hmm.
and so attractive women as a group that are unfriendable to you is a different, that's a different thing. Because if you're talking to your followers about like, don't be, and also like some guys are getting, are under fire for being friends with women that can hold space for, I want to be her friend and maybe I'm attracted to her or maybe I'm not. And guys are like, you're just friends with her because of this, or
True.
like,
They'll point
well,
fingers.
that makes you, yeah, it's like, well, that makes you like somehow subordinate to her because you're friends with her. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Now I'm gonna say someone else's words, not mine. I heard that, this is what I heard. This is, you're gonna disagree with this 100%, but it's all good. We can have a conversation about it. They say women crave attention more than men. Therefore, women love male friends because it means more attention for them. But men, we don't really, crave the attention as much. So it's like, well, we men want, basically saying men kind of want sex more, not more, because I think that's subjective, but basically saying is like the attention. That's why women like a male friend, because they get more, usually more attention from him than her girlfriends. Do you agree with that? Disagree? How do you stand with that statement? With like the whole attention thing?
I think that there's a spectrum with that
Yeah.
where, like, personally, I do not want like sexual attention that I'm not reciprocating. I have
Yes,
no desire for that. It is stressful. It
it is.
is uh it puts you in a really rough spot. There's nothing that I want from that. Now, women that are in a place that have I, there's there's other spectrums of this, I think, too.
Hmm.
But if you're in a place where you really have the like internalized misogyny kind of thing going on, in the structure of the patriarchy, we are taught that our value is like our ability to like our opportunity for jobs,
Hmm.
like all these different things. It's can male attention is, and it goes back to like, I need a husband to pick me, like regency, even before then times. It's like, I need to get picked because I can't provide for myself, or I can't. So that being attractive and getting that attention is a very lame version of the most power that we can feel.
Hmm.
So if you're in a really internalized misogyny place, you then you're thinking like, yes, I have more, there's more to me now because I'm getting this attention. But that's not like, that's just a really unfortunate thing to have in your system, where it's like, that's how you can get anything in this world. Like, that sucks. Like, I have to think about coming on here how, like, I can't be too unkept, but I also don't want to look too sexualized, because where I fall in that is, and I have even the fortune of, I don't have, like, I don't have big lips. I'm not an overly sexualized.
Hmm. I feel you.
I can like wear sports bra and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So depending on what I do, depending on how I look,
True.
I
How
can
you
be
look.
taken more seriously.
I agree, and it's
And I'm
unfortunate.
lucky that my voice is this low. Yeah. So
Okay. So, I feel in that. So one thing I want to talk to you about is misogyny, right? That's a word I've been studying, trying to get really familiar with. So let me ask you this: how does like, what are maybe some characteristics or way of life of a misogynist, right? Because I'm gonna tell you from my experience, right? When I found the content that I found, it made me have two things change dramatically. Number one, I'm no longer attached to an outcome. When I was more of a simp, my mindset was okay, if I do the dates, the compliments, the flowers, the gift giving, the time, that's what girls talk about. They talk about movies and show like that. That's what they want, right? That's what I thought. If I do that in return, I should get relationship, I should get monogamy, and I should have her. But when those women left for men who didn't give a F, right? For like those guys on the football team or those like athletes and stuff like that. I'm like, wait a minute, like they're not doing any of this stuff I'm doing. But like, but then I was like, no, I'm not gonna let them change me. I'm gonna keep doing it. And I kept doing it. And I kept for years from like 16 to 23. Said, nope, not changing. Nope, not changing. I'm gonna still be that good guy girls talk about in the songs, in the movies. Like I'm gonna still be that guy. And eventually, after like the fifth time, I'm like, you know what? Something's off here. I keep blaming women for my issues. I think it's time for me to put the mirror on myself and fix myself. And I started to learn about reading books, podcasts from women and stuff like that. And one thing I've learned is I was attached to an outcome and I thought I deserved something. Those are the two things. So then now I took those away. When I go on a date with a girl, my mindset is I'm just gonna enjoy my time. I don't care if we have sex. I don't care. I'm just gonna enjoy my time. That's it. I don't expect a text from tomorrow morning. I don't expect a second date. The expectations, I used to have high ones for every girl I went out with. Now it's dropping to the floor. And now I live life so much better because I feel like before I had these expectations, now I don't. The second thing, and this is where we may conflict, but not, I see myself as a prize now. Before I put women on a pedestal as to like I can't feel good about myself until I have someone, some girl, right? But now, you know what? I see myself as a prize. For that reason, I made myself my own business. I'm self-employed now. I feel much better as a man. But now I'm being labeled as a misogynist, right? So it's like, dude, I have a much better life, and my relationships with women are much better. But now I'm being called a misogynist, right? So it's like, kind of tell me where you agree with the comment section to kind of help me out.
It seems to me, and I actually felt this way when I saw your the viral video, that, and even when I do edit it, there was this same sort of comments on, it's like, man, it just feels like they hate us all, and like, or different, they were saying the same kind of thing on. But here's the thing that I, even watching it, was getting
Okay.
was, I feel like there's dissonance between how you are in real life and what you're making money off of.
Yeah. Okay. Go on.
And you even, I saw you talking when you're talking to Avalon Rose on,
Yes. YouTube.
you mentioned the, like, you got to say something controversial if you're going to go viral. You got like these, you kind of have to do these things to get, and it seems like it's kind of a rough spot because you don't practice toxic things personally, but that, it's kind of that anger fear thing that a lot of men are, you're gaining all this traction for, that's sucking people. Like, so much of your videos are focused on trying to suss out the woman that is going to be manipulative with you, that's like, here's, they say this but they mean that. It's just like, where's the stuff on, here's how like, that she's high value, here's how that she's truly into you. Like, where is the good that you're going towards? Because you know how to find it in your personal life. And so much of what you're talking about is like, I gained self-respect. And it wasn't that these, I don't think it's, these women were like, Chad's a, like, look at him, he's being nice, how pathetic. Like, no, it's what you're saying, where, because I have been a people pleaser for most of my life,
Me
for
too.
sure.
Yeah, I was.
And the weird part of that is that it's people pleasing is a form of manipulation. Because it's like what you said, where it's like I expected an outcome. I'm doing these things, so I'm received a certain way. And whether people know it consciously or not, they can tell when someone's being nice, usually from a place of I'm trying, like the difference between a confident man giving you a compliment and a guy that's hoping you'll react to him a certain way is it's so different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, why don't you keep going now? You're rolling. You're rolling. I want you to keep. I want you to keep speaking.
I guess so. I guess the thing that is, I understand why it's rough for you to be in a place where it's like I'm being called a misogynist, but in my real life, like my life is better. I'm
Yeah.
like I have self-respect. I'm taking ownership, and I'm not at the mercy of how women are perceiving me. Like I get why that is positive, but it feels like what you preach is men respecting themselves, and in order to do that you have to disrespect the woman.
Okay. So
Like you can't respect her.
okay. So
Do you know?
okay. So here's where my issue with comes in, right? Most of the content, I say 50-50, but most of my content is okay. If she says, "Hey, I don't have like I'll let you know." And I say, "Hey, bro, if you see yourself as a high value king, you don't just go for the next girl. Don't sit there and wait for her to come get back to you next week or the week 2 weeks later. Like, even girls will tell, hey, if I say to a guy, I'll let you know, that it's a soft no. It's me laying you down easy. So it's like most of the time it's like men spot this out and leave. So in that example, is that disrespecting a woman when I tell them to leave when they feel like they're being kind of manipulated? Is that like, help me out?
it's it's less about the, because yeah, if you feel like someone is not reciprocating
The
what's going
energy.
on,
Hmm.
then yeah, yeah. But it feels like it's a lot of that A equals B stuff. Because some of the time, like you just don't know until you communicate, and a lot of your stuff is not pushing communication at all. It's if she's doing this, it means this. And that's when it gets, one, dangerous for us, and two, it creates like this extra frustration that is already, like, hetero dating is already so laced
It's
with
wild.
like fragile ego frustration, it seems.
Got you.
Is
So
that
yeah, so you're right. Everyone can argue an A and a B. No, what if that girl had a bunch of tests this week and her professor didn't know when she had to be at class? So it's like, you're right. You can easily argue that there's another side, right? Of like, oh, actually, when she said she lets you know, she actually will tomorrow at 8 a.m. You just gotta give her more time. I get it. There's always like the other side to argue. But to me, I err on more on like when I read all these books and listened to all these podcasts, like it basically made me put basically it's like it's me putting myself first. So back when I was more of a more than my simp days, I take that consideration. She'll let me know, and I'd wait, and I'd nope, okay, next day, nope, like just legit. I was waiting for her to let me know, and now it's like no, I'm gonna put myself first, and I don't want to wait. I'm gonna go ask another girl and see if what she says. So yes, you're right. A lot of it is A equals B, and that can be confusing, and that can be, what you said, dangerous. But if I just feel like, a lot of men are kind of down bad with this dating stuff. You see, there's some of the questions I get, and probably questions you get too from women, where it's like, I don't think, even me personally, when you put yourself first, it's a bad thing for women. What do you think?
when women do that, it's bad?
No, I'm saying is like I don't think it's a bad thing when a man decides, you know what? If I'm not getting the energy, I don't feel like the energy being reciprocated, I'm gonna go find it elsewhere. I don't think that's bad for women. What do you think?
I think again, it's like I think self-respect is always good.
It is.
And like and taking that moment to be like, okay, she's saying she's going to let me know. And it's like I'm unwilling to wait. That's how you feel. Like it, and because there is like the worst of it is like I'm at the mercy of this other person. But a lot of that is a mindset. It's either like you can decide for yourself like I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna wait and not equate that to
No.
being at her mercy. Like because maybe you decide to wait once and then it's like and she's still not really talking to you and it's like,
Hmm.
okay, I don't want to wait again. But like you could like is waiting once you like not having self-respect.
Okay. Yeah.
And also
Let's
just like
go on.
no, go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a great point. So is you waiting? No, disrespecting yourself. I don't think so because, you know, I feel like you can wait, but is that what you really want to do? Because my whole mindset is with women is listen, if she has high interest, she knows exactly what day she's free for you. She'll tell you. And thing is, in my life, with every girl I deal with has high interest. What's your availability? Oh, I'm free Saturday. Cool. I'll see you Saturday. Perfect. Right. So I don't deal with this whole I'm not sure. I'm not. I don't know. I don't deal with that. So the girls I deal with are all high interest. So then I go, okay, if all the girls I deal with let me know exactly what day, and there's never no like, I'm not sure. I feel like the not sure is usually medium to low interest. And if I'm looking for high interest and the girl's like, I don't know, I can't say right now, you know what? You can let me know, but I'm gonna go try get another date. And when you let me know, okay, cool. But if you don't, I'm not attached to the outcome, you know? So she can
Right.
still let me know. I'm just not waiting. I'm not like this, waiting like I used to be waiting, you know? So so
Sure. And
go on.
I think that's fair. Like personally, but I'm also very uh now that I'm good at communicate because that's sort of my people pleaser, like
Yeah.
where I came from, where
Yeah.
it was hard to communicate because and a lot of it is just excessive would be sort of excessive empathy, like trying to not step on other like not hurt other
Yes.
people's feelings
True.
or not or live up to what they want from me type stuff.
Facts. Yeah.
But yeah, but where I live now is sort of a if I will communicate like I'd love to uh this week and some because personally my a lot of my work is gig work and fluctuating and sometimes it's like this week is literally like I've had times where I've literally been like this week is so impossible and I'm trying to let this guy know that I want to see him but I'm over here like he might be like take that I might be meeting him and this has happened where like we meet for the date and he's already like he barely hung in to meet me because because I couldn't I didn't know when I was free yet and it's all we're already meeting each other in this place of distrust. And so you can do what you're doing where it's like you just never deal with that at all. But I think I'm pretty worth meeting and you're not going to meet me if that was the circumstance I had that week.
True.
You know
So
what I
so
mean?
here's what have happened. When are you free? I don't know yet. Okay, no big deal. Let me know when you know, and I go find another date. And let's just say, hey, I'm free Monday. Cool. So am I. So it's like I'm just not waiting anymore, right? I say, okay, cool.
Sure.
Let me know when you're free, but I'm not attached to your I'll let you know. I'm gonna take that as a no and move on. But if you come back 2 or 3 days later, hey, now I know. Great. What's the day? So it's like before I was attached to that. Okay, so let me know. I'm just gonna keep waiting and keep waiting. Now it's like, you know what? I'm gonna take that as a soft no. I'm gonna go talk to other girls. But if you come back, we can still hang out. So that's kind of my approach with that is if she comes back, great. But if she doesn't, dude, move on. Don't be attached. So
And
that
that
was
sounds
more.
reasonable. I don't think I've heard that in your TikToks exactly, like in the
Oh,
way that we're
okay. Well,
just
hey,
talking
hey,
about
you know
now,
what?
but
You
that
know
all
what?
sounds reasonable.
You know what? This is let's play it. Let's play it. So there's one where I made recently. I've been trying to relax on my verbiage where I do it more in PG mode. because obviously people are getting
I've
very
noticed.
sensitive. So let's go here. Let's do it. Okay. Don't over. No, that's not it. Right here. Okay.
If you see yourself as a king, make sure to watch this video to the end. Fellas, let's talk. My number one love language is quality time. If she's not giving you any quality time, let her go. I will get the wildest DMs of like you guys saying, "Oh, I texted her, then she didn't respond, but I snapped her and she opened it." Does that mean she like? Does that? What does that mean? That means you're not a priority. And if you see yourself as a king, you see yourself as a priority. If you've been talking to this girl for 2 or 3 months and you still can't link with her, throw in the towel and start messing with girls with high interest. Let's go, king.
So what was wrong with that?
No, that makes total sense.
Okay. So
There's
let's go
another
to.
one of yours that
Yes,
there's
please.
one in particular I want to say that I liked of yours.
Which one? Oh
That
wow.
was, it was and I have a question too. It was the guys, don't be sexual with her when you guys haven't been sexual yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, exactly. And my question is, why do they want to send the dick pic like
Okay.
before you've
Okay.
been sexual? Like, what's the draw?
Okay. So let's talk about that. So how men think is, I'm sorry, this is how men think. If she's giving me her time of day, she must be at least inclined to sleep with me, right? It's not like she has no interest in sleeping with me because why would she be texting me? So men, well, here's the thing. Men don't have to be courted. You can text any guy right now, hey, come sleep with me. He's going to come over and do it. You don't have to buy a mistake. You have to take him out. Men don't really need to be courted in order to have sex. So it's like, I guess we're more likely to give it up with ease. So it's like us sending a picture of our junk means literally nothing. So it's like, and also they feel like, ooh, especially if he's very confident down there, he feels like it'll make you want to sleep with him faster if he sends it to you.
I think that is just the strangest. There's just some things where it comes to like guys that like, because it's supposed to be for women, right? Like it's like if the result is I want to sleep with her,
Yes.
like you think the action would be for it. But honestly, if we haven't been sexual yet and you get a dick pic, it's just like it feels like a threat. It's just because it's not like because the female gaze is so different from the
Yes.
male gaze for one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, and it's just like if you're like the idea of you sending me like just a body part, like what do I do with that information beside like you're literally like, hey, regardless of how horny you are at the moment, this is ready for you. And it's just like, well, I was just watching Netflix and eating Cheetos, so I this was not the moment I was in.
Yeah, true. I agree.
And that's
Yeah.
why to us it feels like an affront to us, where it's just like we were not in a sexual place and we just received this
I agree. I tell
from
guys,
someone we
listen, if you
don't.
haven't been intimate with her yet, chill out on the sexual text, sexual pictures, and wait till you guys have been intimate to maybe introduce that to your texting, life. But I wouldn't recommend it. But another thing I want to speak on is, all right, I made a video, you may have seen it, which was basically me defending my point of how I don't hate women, right? So, did you see that video?
I think so. Can
Okay.
you
Basically,
recap
I
a
was in a
little?
wig. I was in a wig. And I said, listen, what food do you hate?
That wig is horrible.
Yeah, it's more I got. Because I could see, see, guys will put a towel on their head. Like, come on, bro. Like, I'm going to go to the next step. I'll get a whole wig. Don't just put a towel on your head to represent a female. Go all out. So I went and got a wig for this. So I got a wig. I think it's like a Karen wig. Karen, look.
I was gonna say, I'm like, it's a very Karen wig, but that's
Yeah,
exactly what I was gonna say.
it's a Karen wig, right? So it's like I got this wig, and this is my point. Let me see. We can go back and forth with this. If I asked myself as the Karen, what food do you hate? She said Brussels sprouts. And I said, okay. If you hate Brussels sprouts, do you eat them? She goes, no. If I hated them, why would I eat them? And I was like, okay. well, I don't hate women because I'm constantly talking to them about the videos I make. I read about them, I court them, I do so many things. Like my life hasn't changed at all with women. Like it's still I don't see a girl, my fist balls up. Like so, it's like where, like where does, I think what comes down to, in my opinion, is the tone. Do you disagree with that, or do you feel like
I
it's the
think you're
words to?
not wrong.
So it's like for example, right?
I
I knew this. There are other guys on TikTok who make content like me. There's a couple guys who kind of try to bring up their voice to sound a bit more masculine and tough. There's other guys who do this. Hey guys, you're texting a girl and she doesn't feel you. Don't chase her. You should focus on yourself. Like that, I may say that in a totally different, turned up way, but the fact that he said it like this with no energy, it comes off like he's cool with girls. But when I talk in a turned up tone, that's where they feel like the misogyny comes in, you know? But what do you think?
I mean, to some degree, I think there like again, there's a lot of the if she's doing this, it means this. And I feel like some of those circumstances are if we're in that date with the guy and he's like, oh, this is what that means you're manipulating me, then like that sucks. But I do agree that the tone thing is because I was watching some and it's specifically the dick pic one, and I was just like, it still feels a little because what it your tone does feel like, or no, the specifically the one about everything you say is like you hate women, you hate women. There's something about it where you're like, okay, some women, and we that tone implies the women are gonna nag me about this. So some, I said some, you can't come after me. But we're over here like, in what way does that equal you respecting us? Like you're kind of like winking to your following while like changing your language, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So what should so here's what's going on, right? When I say women or even female, because that's now a slur, you can't say female anymore. So so when I say
Do you
women,
know why? I can tell you.
I've read it into it for hours, not hours, but like 30 minutes. I read some articles, and yes, but we can talk about that later because I love to. But yeah, so if okay, so I said bitches in the beginning, right? And no one cared up until 55,000 followers. No one gave a shit about that word. Then I got flogged for it. Okay, all right, I just want to say it, no big deal. Then I started saying women. Then they're saying you keep generalizing. You're generalizing. You're okay. Some women. Then it's still not enough. So it's like, what's the best way to talk?
From a place of respect,
But
just like it.
like
But
so bitches, no. Women, no. Some women, no. Like what's the next step for me?
honestly, I think the best way that you could speak that would have us genuinely go like, oh yeah, is you can be like, if you're looking for this kind of girl, be aware that some women are doing this. And then then there's some sort of difference between, because when you're doing it, you're like, so, and it's like the tone is like, I mean women, but I'm saying some because they're coming for me, basically. Like,
Okay, so it goes back to tone.
or be specific about, but tone matters. Like if I'm having this whole conversation with you and I'm like, oh, well, I could explain that to you. Would you like to know, Chad? Do you want to know why we don't like the word female? Are you interested in, like, that is an entirely different conversation you and I are having, right?
Gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, so I tried to at first it was like I have my tone because that makes me stand out. It gets people's attention. It gets the hook going. But then I sort of realized, yo, I'm not saying, it's my opinion, I'm not saying anything to make men have ingrained hatred for women. I think I made a video right where I taught men how to hate them. But I guess I started analyzing, what is it? What is it? Then I was like, okay, is it the tone? So I tried changing the tone, and the hate's still there. Doesn't matter. It'll never stop. I don't really give a shit about that. But I have realized tone can it almost like I can say the most beautiful thing. If I say in a loud voice, they'll take it negatively. If I say in a softer voice, they may accept it a little easier. That's what I've kind of come to conclusion. I'm trying not to go. I can't go from like here to here. I'm trying to bring it from here to like here. I don't want to go too down and like lose everything, but I'm trying to lessen it. So you're saying to say, be even more specific when you're dealing with some women who are toxic in their 18s to like give me an example of like how I can go about this.
I would say like if it's like circumstance specific versus some being the general thing. So saying like if you're on a date with a girl who has not shown romantic interest with you after 3 dates, let it go. Like you can say that and it's not like we know who you're talking about. Because this conversation we're having, you've said some things where I'm like, yeah, if she's doing that, yeah. But it's like some women will drag you along on a date for like some women will lead you on. That's dangerous to us because we're just like, okay, but they don't know who those some women, like they don't know what that circumstance is. They just know that there are women out there that will do that to them. You know what I mean?
It's still tough for me because it's like, for example, I can read between the lines. When a girl goes kill all men, she's talking about all the men she's dealt with in her life who screwed her over. That she's not saying she wants to slaughter every man on the street. She's saying the men who I've dealt with who did me dirty, I want to kill all of you. I get that. All men are trash. Again, back to the men who did you dirty. You don't really believe all men are trash. So it's like I can read between the lines. But when I say some women and you have nothing to do with what I'm saying and you're still mad, it's like, are you trying to act? Hold on. Are you trying to like, it's almost like, dude, are you a girl who goes on dates with guys for free food? No, then you're not some women. But it's like I feel like some girls will still find a way to fit themselves in there just to point a finger and drop a mean comment. What do you think?
I think unfortunately that's just the difference between the group that it's the oppressive versus the oppressed sort of thing. Like
Ah,
something that I've like it's the same thing to me
mhm.
as someone who absolutely wants to defund the police. All cops are bastards. That I know why we're saying that.
Okay.
I don't want anyone saying all black people are anything. Like
Sure.
what the hell is wrong with you?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So I
Facts.
feel like that is, and that's the thing that's rough with when it comes to gender because we have the whole oppressive dynamics of the patriarchy, and it is rough for men too. Like it's hard to, like the barriers of masculinity and male suicide rates, like that is all part of it. But what keeps happening is men are like, well, when it comes to me dating her, you can't tell me like this is a relationship between the two of us and so it doesn't feel like oppressive groups but that's the structures that we're in.
So I was having a conversation with somebody about, his name is Evan. He has a TikTok called Performance Potential. And he does a good job to like give advice to men, give advice to women. So he kind of stays happy. He's a piece of people pleaser. No one's really comes from him too much because he tries to go to both sides and stay neutral. He made a video saying women, no, men can't tell a woman shit. Or especially if it's like kind of negative, he's seen as maybe a sexist or maybe he hates women, blah blah. But they said a woman though she can tell anyone what to do and it's seen in a more fair light. So for example, and because you said it goes back to the oppressor versus oppressed, like oppressed versus oppressor thing. So the oppressed can tell men what to do, it's fine. But when the oppressor tells women, it's almost seen like in a negative connotation. Do you agree with that or disagree?
In some ways, yeah, where it's because it's part of stay in this dynamic. Like when men are, it's like stay in the dynamic of I tell you what's going on. and women are coming out of the dynamic by being like, I am going to speak my mind. And so that does filter into it. But what I tell my male followers constantly is like questions, like, and I do this too, like have questions in these, all you have to do is start from a question.
Yeah.
And my favorite men will genuinely ask my opinion on things. Like that's top tier. Like
Absolutely.
that is a man with secure masculinity every time.
Got you. Okay. So I kind of want to get into masculinity because I try reading things about it, but this is just my version of it. I feel like, and we can have disagreements about this too. I like this is a good conversation. Like to me, a masculine man to me has purpose. That's number one. He knows what he wants to do, and he's trying to make a dent in the universe. He's trying to do something great. Because at the end of the day, I feel like, for example, gender roles have never changed for a man yet. Hey man, go out there, protect and provide for your family. That I don't think that's changed. Do you think that's changed or think that's staying the same?
Oh, I think that's a huge part of what's uncomfortable right now is that because it's not just men that perpetuate the patriarchal standards. So we're in this weird spot where like there's still pressure as a man to do those things,
Yes, true.
and there's also pressure to get out to stop this. And it's like what, and it's hard because a lot of the pressure to be the provider that this is
Yes.
a desirability pressure.
Yes.
Whereas
I 100% agree
the
with that.
fight for equality is just we're holding your feet to the fire, being like, we want we want women to be equal to men. We want gender to be recognized as a spectrum. Like, so
Do
it's a very, go ahead.
do you think that a man won't be loved properly until he can, provide and protect a family? Like what I'm saying is like there are men out there who kind of experiences like anxiety, right? Where it's like, damn, a woman much rather go for a guy who's a 6 out of 10 with money and success rather than a guy who's like an 8 out of 10 who's kind of like wandering in life. Like he's a good guy. He just doesn't know what he wants. He has no money.
I think the not knowing what you want is such a big part of that.
Okay.
Personally, like I want a partner that feels like my equal. But everyone has different, and honestly, you could absolutely have a relationship where you are fully in the male masculine roles and she's totally in the female roles, and you guys, and that dynamic, you could be totally happy in that.
Yeah, works for us. Yeah.
But it's the idea that everyone needs to be doing that is where it becomes damaging. So I don't think that it's so much that a guy has to be a provider in order to be loved, but I think that it's more about what kind of person do you want to attract. Like, sure, if you want to lean into all that and have girls who are looking for a sugar daddy, which if that is explicitly expressed, like transactional relationship, you guys decided to do that, great. But personally, like what I want from a partner, the money part is I've been paying for my own existence this whole time.
Mhm.
Like why am I looking for someone to do that?
Got you.
And I don't want him having that kind of power over me either. But it's also hard because it's the whole pay gap, the whole just the fact that men tend to be seen as experts more readily than women, and I look younger than I am too, and so that can be hard for me, where it's like I swear I know what I'm talking about, but I'm 30, and not everyone knows that, like, and I get treated different ages, and that changes it too. So I don't want a provider. It just doesn't.
And that's fine. And that's totally okay. And I totally agree with what you're saying. But for me, this is what I've seen. So I watch a lot of channels where men and women call in and they describe their issues. and it's usually the same thing where a woman got paid she started making money, and her mindset went to, I don't really need a man. So she had a hard time finding partners because the man wanted to take over and, like, pay most of the bills, and do that whole like 1960s gender role thing. That's what he was kind of pushing her towards, and she didn't want that, obviously, which is fine. So she always like had an issue finding a guy, because women tend to marry up and date up. Do you agree with that, or you still you feel that statement?
I've I have not really. I think I've experienced a few guys that I guess
Yeah.
made more money than me, but I
Yeah.
haven't really, in terms of finances, I don't think I've really, and I've never combined finances with a person.
Okay. Yeah, because
So,
I would say was yeah, women tend to to date and marry up. So they want someone doing better than them financially, but they have a hard time being with that man, because that man may want them to do things like like the gender role thing, and they're not feeling like, no, kick your own shit, do your own laundry. I'm not, you know, and it became an issue. Then they're getting divorced. But I don't know. I feel like as of right now, if I were to get married, I would I would like if I talk to her and see what does she want the marriage to look like, and if she wants to do the traditional versus the whole, you cook for yourself, I cook for myself. Like, basically, it's like we're living together, but we're not really like on the same team. It's like, I'll do my own, you do your own, but we live together and we love each other. What would you prefer?
well, I think a lot of that too comes down to whether or not you want to have kids,
Okay,
because that's such a different, and it's for women too, the getting through a pregnancy and then after having kids, how dealing with your getting pregnant, your career is completely
stagnant.
a part of that whole
Yeah.
thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, and there's like it's like, can I go back, depending on the career too, can I go
True.
back to that career?
True.
Can And we don't support maternity leave at all in this country. So there's also the, like, maybe you are, and this is, and the thing too is like the woman staying at home provided for stuff, like a lot of that is, like a lot of that is the, that's depends too on people's circumstances. And honestly, because I have been doing a lot of studying, because I do activist work here in LA, and
Good.
I'm obviously white, and so I've been learning a lot how we white women, we really hijack the feminist movement a lot, because we're like, we want the same benefits as the the oppressive group, we want those benefits. But historically, like, Black women weren't staying home,
True.
they had to work too. And so I I think it just depends on whatever the circumstance is. Like, whoever the higher earner is, maybe if you want kids, the higher earner stays in the workforce and the other one raises the kids. It just, I feel like circumstances just really depend. And I think it's mostly how we're taught, that we lead with, and that thing again of like the internal misogyny for women of the, if I have male attention, I'll get picked, I'll have a husband because that's my only chance of, like, that's where I'll live, the way back shit that we still hang on to.
Now, did you say women have ingrained misogyny for themselves, or men?
Oh,
Or
sure.
really? So women can have ingrained misogyny for themselves?
Yeah, for
Oh
a lot
wow.
of my life, I would say I'm not like other girls.
Okay. Let's talk about that. I feel like women say that because they may. Okay, so because girls say this to me often, where it's like, I'll say, like, for example, I'll say, oh, as a joke, obviously as a joke, I'll say something like, hey, like, you talking to your other hoes, blah 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 blah. Oh, don't have hoes, not like other girls, right? I see that as her
Mhm.
deflecting. Like, I'm not like most women who have a lot of who date a lot of men. I kind of stay in my own lane. But you're seeing that as like a internalized. Like, what do you think about that situation? I say you're talking to your hoes, and you say, no, I'm not like other girls. Like, how does, kind of touch on that one, if that's a scenario?
It's saying there's something wrong with women on the whole. So I am going to make it clear that I'm an exception to women.
Oh wow. I never thought of it that way.
It's personally a lot of the reasons that I felt that way was, for me, was both all the stories that we consume,
Okay.
which the women represented it. We're obviously trying. The movie industry is in its own weird place with trying to represent people better and
Yeah, they are.
succeeding
They're trying to.
sometimes and miserably failing. Yeah. But like what we grew up on, like I was watching all these, like, whether it was Disney movies or whatever it was, it's just like, man, I don't want to be a girl. They suck. They're lame. And even in romantic comedies, which are mostly written by men, that, like, God, the late 90s to the early 2000s, of like the woman is always confused and she doesn't know what she wants. And the guy has that moment where even though she's done nothing but been like, oh, I don't know, he goes in for the kiss. And God, way back when, black and white stuff where she's literally fighting him because it wasn't seen as, women weren't supposed to want anything as part of the
Okay.
purity culture thing. Like, she's literally hitting him and then eventually swoons into the kiss.
Oh,
It's
that's
just
weird.
like, yeah, uh, that would be the rape
Okay.
culture business.
Got you. So, this is the last thing I'll say is, like, I thought we'd go for an hour. It's up going an hour and a half of this at this point. Almost an hour and a half. Almost.
Oh, is it?
Almost.
Wow.
Almost. So, because I knew we need a script, I knew that this would flow so simple. So I'll ooh, okay, let's end on this and then we'll call it. Maybe I have to do another one, like, as I'm down. Let's talk about rape culture. So I'm in a video.
Mhm.
This will happen. Up until 55K, Kelly, nothing. I had a couple of guys, couple of girls trying to make videos about me, but nothing happened. No, like, it was very smooth going to 55K. A woman, and I forgot her name. You may even follow her. I don't know. I made a video stating this. If you are on a dating app, Bumble, Tinder, Hinge, and she doesn't want to go on a date with you because of COVID-19, I'll say, in the video, I said, you drop the B. You know what I mean by that. But that's what I
I
basically thought.
actually don't.
Drop the B means drop the B word.
Yeah.
BITCH.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What?
So
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 you
it's
just call her a bitch?
no. Listen, I don't walk around society calling people bitches. This is not. But for on TikTok entertainment, so such as Chris Rock, Kevin Kevin Hart, like, basically these are
Kevin
entertainers,
Hart?
right? So like they use the word all the time in their comedies and in their movies, but they don't walk around, hey bitch, grab me a drink. Like, they have respect. But when it comes to their entertainment, they say what the hell they want. But anyway, that's not the point of this discussion. The point is, I said, when a girl doesn't want to go on a date because of, oh, there's COVID, we'll hang out after COVID, you move on. Why would you hold on to? Why would you wait until COVID's over? Just go find a new girl who wants to hang out with you, regardless of the pandemic.
Oh, you're telling them to drop her, but you're saying drop the bitch.
Yes.
Deal.
Yeah. So it's like, don't let her, because basically she's like, oh, we can still talk though. Like, we can still talk on here, but we can't hang out because of the pandemic. We'll wait till it's over. So that's what I was saying. Like, don't wait. Go find someone else. So that girl with 500,000 followers, I'm not gonna lie, I made a kind of a funny video. It's like a skit. Hey, you should have sex with me, but there's a pandemic. Who cares? But what if I die? It's fine. And so it's like she made some type of funny skit. It was kind of good, actually. Then, of course, those 500,000 followers came to my page and just all these nasty things. So that's when I made that video. I said, okay, I have all this attention on me. Let's go for broke. Let's make a good video, respond to all these haters. But in that video I made about the whole dating app thing, they said, by a man not wanting to see a girl anymore on the app because of COVID-19, that could be seen as pushing rape culture. So what do you think?
Is that what they said?
Yeah, oh yeah. They said that's pushing rape culture because it's like men aren't entitled to a woman's body. So, like, that's what they're saying for that video. It was like a rape culture video.
I haven't seen that one, so I'm not sure what they're responding to.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got you.
if someone's like, we can't, like, I'm unwilling to meet till the pandemic's over. Like, personally, I that I'm not going to wait till the pandemic.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to be safe about
Yeah,
it.
true.
And, like,
Yeah,
social
yeah.
distance for the first date.
Yeah,
But
sure.
that would also be like, I hate texting before meetings, especially I couldn't really do the dating apps. They drive me nuts. Uh, but yeah, I just can't. That's a long time to
Yeah, it's a lot to
invest
wait.
in a back and forth.
I
Yeah,
agree.
and I would be like, what if I'm not into him and we meet up? Ugh, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, facts. So I feel like I'm trying to think of another video where you know what? This is what we'll end it on. Let's end it on the B word. This is my take on it. People say it all the time. My response is, okay, keep the same energy. If you're trying to hang me for saying it, are you on all these rappers pages? Are you streaming their music? Are you listening to Kevin Hart and Chris Rock? Are you streaming? If you're not, that's fine because you're keeping the same energy. But if you're listening to all these people say the word, and even women, Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, do they hate women too because they use the B word? You know what I'm saying? So it's like hold everyone accountable. It's almost like, hey, you guys are fine, but you're the issue. So what do you feel about that word?
Well, I feel two different things where if women are calling each other that, that's kind of the classic, like, this is used against us, we're saying it thing. Like, that's its own. But I think the difference is you're giving dating advice on dating women.
So when rappers say bees ain't shit but hoes and tricks, and girls shake their butt to it, stream it, that's cool. If I say, hey guys, if you're dealing with these bitches, man, they're doing this, and this, that's going too far, right? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think any of it helps. But I
True.
think the fact
I don't think
that
either. I don't think either. Yeah.
but I think the fact that you're being like, men, I'm going to help you date women, but you're like, men, I'm going to help you date these bitches. Like, we already understand a world in which men want us violently and want us from this. It's this weird, like, and it's ingrained in so many stories and movies, and it's all over the place of this, like, angry desire for women. You would think it's like, if I like her, then that's positive feelings, but there's something weird going on. And so I think that that is what we're responding to when, and the other thing too is a lot of the advice is kind of, you'll allude to stuff that'll be sort of like playing on insecurities. Like, this is a way to get a girl who is insecure enough that she's so worried about you choosing her that she's not spending any energy wondering how she feels about you. Like, that's what a lot of the, like, make her wonder, make her think that, maybe, like, give her a little bit and then go, like, you're only going to be able to pull someone who doesn't respect themselves. Because personally, if a guy is making me think that he's not that interested in me, I like, if we've invested enough time and it's confusing, I'll have a conversation and be like, hey, and I've done this where I'm like, something, and it was actually because I wanted to sleep with a guy on a first date,
Oh wow,
and
okay, look at
he
you.
seemed,
I love it. I love it.
oh, don't be surprised. Yeah, it's uh that's a stupid cultural thing where we feel like we have to, and maybe we want to wait, maybe we don't know enough,
I
but
don't care. Let me
part of
just
it
do
is
it.
what we're told, that
True.
I can't be a high value woman if I want to sleep with someone on the first date. It's like, yes, I can. Yeah,
True.
I absolutely can. But he was getting kind of wishy-washy,
Okay.
and so it's like, hey, can we talk? And I'm like, so feels like since that happened, you haven't been, like, something has been different. Are you unsure about me now? He's like, I'm not going to lie. I don't know if it's going to work. And part of it too is he definitely liked purity culture quite a bit.
Okay. All right. Fair
And,
enough.
and he said that, and I'm like, well, this isn't going to work with me because I can't be seeing someone who isn't sure about me.
I agree.
He will not leave me alone ever. Like, every few months I get a message from this dude. It's just like, like, you have lost me entirely. Like, you couldn't respect me because why? like if you have a period of time where you're like, I'm not sure if you're worthy of my respect, you have lost my interest. So that anyone who's getting pulled, man or woman, by that tactic, it has a like some sort of, they're struggling with their attachment, like they're playing into, I would need to get picked.
Got you. Back to the point of like for example, I made a video saying, listen, after the first date, man, don't like blow her fun up that night. Like text her tomorrow morning. Like don't be so when you drop her off, be all over her. Cause sometimes here's the thing. Some women would love that. You drop them off the second they walk in the house. Hey, I had a great time. The second you get in the house, they'd love that. Some girls like, a little too much power. We spent the whole night together. Why you want to text me some more? You know? So there's always the caveat to, well, I wouldn't like that. And that's fair. And for example, guys will text me, hit me up on DM, say, hey, that worked. And some guys say, hey, that didn't work. But there's no one size fits all to me in dating. Like that one guy, even though he wants sex just as much as you do, he kind of shamed you for it. Right. Where it's like, she slept in the first day. That means she's probably not pure enough. Man, screw you, man. Like you wanted sex with her just as much as she wanted with you. You know what I mean? But so damn, dude, I wish we can keep going, but I gotta get to another gig with a person. But man, this was really good. I gained some. What I've gained the most from this conversation, Kelly, was honestly the biggest thing that came to my first is tone. That's probably the number one thing that came to my mind, and then second after that was like trying to be more specific instead of saying some women, get even more specific than that, right? Go even more into detail because I thought that's enough. All right, I'm saying some. If you don't fit in this some, don't get mad. If you're, so getting more. Those are the two things I took away. Anything you take away at all, or nothing at all? It's fine if you didn't.
I mean, I guess I took away, I'm not exactly sure how to, I don't think I took away anything in particular. I learned about the dick pic thing, and that was helpful.
Okay, fair
because
enough.
I'm like,
Fair
what
enough.
the heck is this about?
Well, yeah, what's it about? I
But
feel
I
you.
mostly just, but I think the biggest thing is this sort of conversation. I think it because I think too often we're in our echo chambers, and
Yes,
so
yes, I agree.
I think it's great that you're making these strides. I hope it's not just like, can I, you're in a tough spot, I think, between what you're selling and what our conversations are about. But yeah, I think that you as a person are not those things. And that's what I gained more so from this conversation.
Absolutely, man. That's what I'm saying. People like people always trying to say these not bad, nasty things about me. I don't think it's true at all. At the end of the day, I know who I am. The girls in my life are like, dude, they're saying these crazy things about you, but you're not, you're not this person that hates us. Like, I know. So, in my real life, I have no problems with anybody, any woman, any man. There's no issues. But on the internet, there's a war against me. But it's okay. But I definitely want to have you back on again. So I'll definitely shoot you a DM and we'll talk some more about this type of stuff.
Cool. Sounds good.
Awesome. Have a good day, Kelly.
Future.
Talk to you later.
You too.